Hello everyone and welcome.
We're going in-depth, up close and personal as we investigate the stories that you want to hear.
Reporting straight from Franciscan University, I'm James.
And I'm Mary Kate.
And I'm Peter, and this is Month to Month.
Peter, what are you doing?
I'm hosting.
Says who?
Mary Kate.
Oops. Peter, when we were talking, I was just joking.
Well, this is awkward.
Peter, you're going to have to leave, I'm sorry.
No, wait, James. He's already here. He might as well stay.
But I'm the male co-host.
I can be the male co-host to the male co-host.
That's a great idea.
What? You have to be kidding me.
James, can we get on with the show now, please?
Okay. After 40 days of Lent, Easter has finally come.
I love Easter.
At Franciscan, Easter's a pretty big deal. Every Easter vigil, the Finnegan Fieldhouse is jam-packed with students and visiting families.
You know, a lot of friends come too.
And friends.
Month to Month was there on the scene to cover the spectacular Easter Vigil Mass at Franciscan University. Let's watch.
I am co-head of the servers. My job as co-head entails basically training all the servers, preparing them to serve the Mass as best as possible because we want to give as much reverence as we can to to Jesus while we're participating in His sacrifice. We're also in charge of helping set up in various ways because even though we're primarily involved with doing the Mass during this Easter time, we help set up with everything else where we're needed. Especially since as servers we kind of know what we need.
I'm one of the co-head of ushers, so what my job entails is getting people to usher for all of the masses this week and all of the weeks.
I think the all-day practices and all-day setup and all that is very necessary in the idea that yes, it is time-consuming, but it also helps us stay focused on our task, and it's harder to sort of separate things out. If you're doing everything at once, oh wait, we need this or we need that, and that way during the practices you have a better idea of what's going on. And the setup itself, it always keeps you in the mindset of we're doing this all for the masses because you're setting up directly a few hours before Mass. So it's very good for getting in the mindset of while you are busy, your mindset is always, oh, I'm not doing this for my job, I'm doing this for Jesus, for the liturgy, and to try and make things as beautiful as possible for Jesus and the people that are going to be participating.
I think what it makes special to me, this liturgy, this holy night and the Easter Vigil, one being an alumnus of the university and going to school here, now being able to be a priest here and to celebrate this liturgy tonight with the students and the faith and the devotion that goes into celebrating this night. Really, I think capturing the holiness of this night, and it's just this very joyous and wonderful occasion of remembering that our Lord has risen from the dead and He has conquered sin and death. And I think that's what's captured by this setting here at Franciscan University, that we can celebrate the fact that Christ is risen from the dead and praise the Lord for all that He has done for us.
I was actually just talking to one of the other liturgy committee members about it, and we were talking about how it's student-run. This entire liturgy is student-run as opposed to your parish at home or something where it's usually adults running it. And how beautiful that is that the youth, we are in charge of it, and we are making sure that it is as beautiful as it can be for everyone that's coming. And I just think that that's amazing because we're the future, and there's a place like this where the youth are involved in this and making sure that our faith and our traditions continue on. It's amazing.
James, if I asked you what your favorite part of going to Franciscan was, what would you say?
Probably Austria. Oh, we're on.
You bet we are. Franciscan Study Abroad program sends students to Gaming, Austria, a quaint town nestled in the foothills of the Alps.
Students stay at a beautiful Kartausa, a 13th century Carthusian monastery.
Now that's cool.
What do you know, Mary Kate? You never went to Austria.
James, we're on air. We got to sit down with a couple of Franciscan students to hear their Austria experience.
Hi, and welcome to Month to Month. I'm Allison Barrick, your host for this segment, and today we have two very special guests. Isabel, who is a junior sacred music major, and James Sweeney, who is also a junior, but in communication arts. And the very special thing about these two guests is that you went to Austria, and you are getting ready to go to Austria. So we'll get to hear what it's like going to Europe and spending an entire semester in Europe, and what it feels like right before you go. So James, how about we start with you and just ask you, like, before you went to Austria and like as you were maybe flying over, like maybe going up to rolling into the Kartause, like what was your feeling like? What was your experience like going to Europe? Like that's actually happening.
Well, it was interesting because I had never been on a plane before Austria actually, and it was funny. I made sure that I actually got a flight with my friends, and it was the four of us. We were leaving Pittsburgh, and first flight I ever went on was a tiny little cargo plane. It was probably like 18 rows or something like that. And my friend Brandon was like, are you ready for this? And I was like, I don't know. I hope we make it to Toronto because we had like a connecting flight to Toronto. So that was the first part was kind of a little scary because I was going to Europe and have never flown before. So, but going to the meetings and stuff, I knew that it was going to be exciting. And then we went to Ireland the week before, just to kind of get adjusted to the time change because it's a big difference. And then rolling up to the Kartause was like, wow. I mean, you don't expect what it's going to look like. I mean, you can see the pictures, and but then when you actually are in front of the Kartause, you're like, it's a lot different than I remembered. Like thinking like, wow, it's going to be so different. But
yeah, and I remember, like I went to Austria a year ago, and I remember just rolling up, being like, "Wow, like this place, like this is actually real. Is an actual place here." And Isabel, how about I just kind of go to you for a minute and being like, how are you feeling? Like you're going next semester in the fall. Like, what is like your feeling right now? Like getting ready to go to Austria. Like this is your just last semester on campus before you go.
Just really excited, and also a bit nervous just of what to expect as well, but just beyond excited for all the new opportunities that I get to experience in Austria and throughout Europe. So
yeah, and I know that like before you go to Austria, like you go to all the Austrian meetings. How do you think those have helped you prepare for?
I think they definitely helped me to prepare in terms of like how to pack and how to travel and what to be aware of while you're traveling, so to stay safe as well, and what places that you should definitely go while in Austria, and definitely to take advantage of Gaming as well. So
yeah, that's awesome. So like speaking of like the Gaming experience or even traveling, like what was your favorite part about the Austria program?
Well, a lot of people say like some of those like Caribbean type, or not Caribbean, Mediterranean places like Croatia or something like that. But I think my favorite was Rome and Assisi that trip, because going into the first 10-day experience, it was a little stressful. You had to, fly for yourself, figure out all your travel plans and everything like that. But then when the school actually provides like transportation, they provide most of the stuff, you're like, okay, I can actually kind of sit back and enjoy this trip. So, and then seeing all the amazing churches like St. Peter's, like, you see it on the TV, especially during the election of like Pope Francis and stuff like that. Like wow, like that would be cool to be standing there. And then when you're there for the Angelus and then for the papal audience, you're just like, wait, I'm actually standing here, like, and that's what I saw on TV. That's what I see all the time. Yeah. And then he's just sitting right up there, So it was really cool, and then Assisi was just a nice little icing on the cake, because then it just kind of finished really nice and peaceful. But that was probably my favorite trip, honestly.
That's awesome too. Yeah, and I remember going to Rome, going up to St. Peter's, and just being like, wow, like definitely larger than life experience. And then how about you, like, getting ready to go, like what are like some of like the places on your list that you want to visit when you go?
I think definitely Poland. I mean, because that's the birthplace of Pope John Paul II, and also that I'm 75% Polish, so I just would like to, go to the roots of, my heritage, and I've just heard just amazing things about it as well. So.
Yeah, and I know that the school takes like a weekend trip to Poland. Like, are you hoping to go another time other than the weekend trip, or?
I'm hoping to do some time, by myself, just to, do some personal traveling. So.
Nice, that's awesome. Well, we're about running out of time, so how about we wrap up with just some final thoughts? Like, James, like, what would you tell a student who's like getting ready to go to Austria? Like, how would you promote the Austria program?
I'd say have some pretty high expectations, but don't just be open to everything, I guess, because it's going to be way more than what you expect in the most possible positive way. So that's what I would say.
That's awesome. And then Isabel, like, how about you? Like, just some final thoughts on like, okay, like being excited or?
Yeah. I'm just really excited and very privileged to be able to have this opportunity to go to the roots of my Catholic faith and to experience a whole another world, beyond my scope that I live in. So.
Awesome. Well, thank you two for joining us again, and I'm Allison
thank you.
Barrick, and thank you guys for watching.
Now you probably wish you went to Austria, don't you, Mary Kate?
James, you shouldn't belittle others to boost your self-esteem.
What? Shut up, loser.
Moving on, Franciscan University has some, shall we say, unique majors.
One of the most unique majors is the sacred music major.
How would you define sacred music?
Not now, Peter.
No, I really want to know.
Peter, how do you define not professional?
Sacred music major Jessica Wasco shared her carefully honed musical abilities at her senior performance.
Month to Month was there to capture the angelic music.
So is sacred music more angelic?
I guess you could put it that way.
The sacred music program here at Franciscan prepares musicians to go out and change the culture, whether it be as a head of a music program at a church or as someone who brings the new evangelization in more unconventional ways. So we give our students both a traditional foundation in chant, polyphony, music history, and theory, as well as private voice or organ lessons. And we also work with them on a more individual basis to help them to realize their call to follow the Lord through music.
This recital was for the requirements for the Bachelor's of Arts degree, and so I did what most voice students would traditionally do, which would be singing early music, classical, romantic, and 20th century. But this year we had a change in faculty, and the new voice teacher asked me if I could pick a theme for the recital. Which typically isn't done. Usually students just pick repertoire, it'll sound pretty, and that's it. But she said, make it meaningful. Make it a story, give it some sort of theme to make it meaningful for you and for your audience. And so I chose the story of the soul for my recital.
We'd like students to take a few things away from the program when they graduate from Franciscan. The first is the professional level, the professional ability to go out into the world and be great musicians. We want them to have both the practical skill and the spiritual and intellectual preparation to go out into the world and give their art as a gift from God.
I want to teach voice. I want to continue with music ministry. I sing, I play piano, I play guitar. It's just really on my heart to help the church grow and to help sanctify people. Because one of the tough things for me growing up was, I didn't receive a very full catechesis. And so that was really tough because I didn't know what I had. And it's tough for parents because you can't give what you don't have. And so if parents have tools to help hand the faith down to their kids, then I want to be a part of creating those tools, whether it's music or kids' books. The theme of this recital is really meaningful for me, just as a Catholic trying to persevere in holiness and grow closer to Christ. So it's been a spiritual journey.
Wow, so that's what sacred music sounds like.
That was really beautiful.
Yes, it was. Mary Kate, I don't know if you get this, but people often come up to me and say, James, what is the secret that makes Month to Month so relevant and trendy?
And what do you tell them?
I tell them the truth. It's all in the studio. Get ready for a bone-jarring, mind-blowing, life-transforming backstage tour of our Month to Month studio.
Whew, I'm not sure I can handle this.
Did you say it was going to be bone-jarring?
Oh, yeah.
I have very brittle bones. I might have to pass this one up.
Anyway, we're going to go on to our studio tour and, well, we make a little cameo, and I don't know about you, but I look pretty good.
Hi, welcome to the Comm Arts Lab. I'm your tour guide, Meg, and I'm going to be showing you a behind-the-scenes look at what goes on for our show month to month. A lot goes into filming this show. We work in our classroom where we do a lot of our planning, and we also go on site to do different interviews as well as film different things. So first, I'm going to be taking you into the lab if you want to follow me. We're going to head into our TV studio. So this is where our set is, and this is where we do a lot of recording, including our host segments. Oh, and lucky for us, we actually have our hosts in here, and they're working on the show. So if you want to follow me, I'll introduce you to them.
How would you withhold that from us?
It doesn't make much sense.
Well, first we have over here our professor, Dr. Coyle. And here we have our two hosts, James and Mary Kate.
Hello.
So what is it that you guys do as hosts?
Well, we introduce the segments.
We banter.
We do a lot of bantering. In fact, we're bantering about bantering right now.
We're pretty good at it. Takes years of practice.
It's not true.
Okay, anyway, we're gonna head over here. And here we have two of our students doing different jobs. So here's Sarah, and she's our floor director.
Hi.
So what do you do as your job?
As my job, I make sure that everything that's happening in the control room is relayed to the studio here, particularly to our talent, as well as keeping time cues and making sure everything goes smoothly. Mary Kate, James, what are you doing?
Okay, well also here we have Brianna, and she's working on camera. So what does doing camera consist of?
Well, I just basically listen to whatever the director wants, whatever shots he needs, I go get, make sure it's all focused, zoomed, ready to go.
Awesome. So what's going on here with the set that we have?
Well, currently it's a mix-match version of our Franciscan University Presents set. We're going to be shooting an episode here soon, so have to get that ready to go.
Awesome. All right, well now that we've seen the studio, we're going to come over here and I'm going to show you the control room. Our first job that we have in the control room is teleprompter. So over here we have Sam, who's working the teleprompter. Can you tell us what you do?
All right, so basically what I do is I just take the script and I put it inside the teleprompter program. And then I can monitor how it's coming out on the cameras right here. I can control which direction it goes and whatnot, so that in the studio they can read what I've got going on here.
So do they have to read exactly what you write on here?
Yes, they actually do. If they don't, they get lashings.
Interesting. So you have a lot of power.
I have a lot of power. This is pretty much the most powerful job. Don't let anyone tell you differently. It's this one right here.
All right, well that's teleprompter for you. So over here we have Avid, and here's Meredith who works Avid. So what do you do to work Avid?
What I do to work Avid is essentially press a button, because Avid is a video editing software, but we use it to capture the video that's coming in because we only have 2 key pros, but we have 3 cameras. So I just make sure everything's going smoothly, that all the settings are the correct settings, and sometimes I write down things like Sam made a weird comment about lashings. So that's pretty much what I do.
Cool. That sounds like a pretty fun job.
Yeah. Wait. Oh my gosh, I think your audio levels disappeared.
John. All right, now I'm going to show you the audio board. And John unfortunately likes to mess with it sometimes to make the audio levels not work properly. So if you want to follow me, I'll show you John. All right, John, so do you want to explain to us what it is that you do here with the audio board?
Yeah, I take the signals that come in from the control room and they come in the board right here, and I control the input volume with the trim knobs up here, and I control the output volume to the monitors over there with the faders here and the stereo fader over here.
Cool. And you also mess up people's audio.
Well, that happens occasionally sometimes.
Okay, well, let's move on anyway. So we have 2 very important jobs that we can't forget. We have our director and our technical director. So here we have Valerie and Mark.
Hey guys. So basically what I do is I tell everybody what to do. I'm basically in charge during the shooting and recording. Basically, I have to tell everybody to start recording. I have to tell John to start doing his job correctly all the time. Sam when to give out his lashings. Pretty much just like whatever. I have to tell the camera angles to kind of move around a little bit. And I get to boss her around the entire time too, which is always a great time. And after this, I have to tell my camera person to get out of the shot.
So yeah, basically as technical director, just do whatever the director wants you to do. So changing from camera 1, camera 2, camera 3,
So whatever he says, I do.
Perfect.
Awesome, thanks guys. We have another very important aspect of our show, which is editing. Now, we can go into the editing lab over here, and I'll show you. We spend a lot of time editing our different segments to make our show what it is, to make it all come out and look great for you as our viewers. So if you want to follow me in here, we have Allison over here, and she's actually currently editing one of our segments for the show. So Allison, do you want to tell us about what you do for editing?
Yeah, so right now I'm working on color correcting, so making sure that everybody looks really good in the different shots, but also editing entails going through all of the different clips and finding the right ones that will look good, not ones of people who are yawning or falling asleep in the shot or anything like that, and then putting it all together to make one whole good segment.
Awesome, thanks Allison.
No problem.
Well, as you can see, there's a lot that goes into our filming of Month to Month. I hope you enjoyed your behind the scenes look. Thanks so much for watching.
This program has been brought to you by Dr. Coyle's Television Production 2 class at Franciscan University.
Thanks for joining us for Month to Month. Stay safe, stay sound.
And we'll see you around. How was that? Was that good? I think I really punched it there.
Oh, it was great. Yeah, it was really good.
Hey everybody, my name is Mark Allen. I'm a junior communications major with a concentration in radio TV.
My name is Valerie Herholtz, and I'm a senior communication arts major and concentrating in radio and television broadcasting.
My name is Sam Giannotti. I am a senior communication arts major with a concentration in radio television.
My name is Hannah Flanagan. I am a senior communication arts major.
This episode of Month to Month, I was a camera person and helped out with whatever the producer and the director needed.
This month on Month to Month, I operated the teleprompter.
For this episode of Month to Month, I was the director.
My favorite thing about working on Month to Month was probably learning how to use Avid. It was a pain in the butt at first, but now that I know how to use it fairly well, I feel a lot more confident in saying that I can use it, say on my resume.
My favorite part of Month to Month is the ability to work with everybody and to see everyone's talents grow in their area of expertise and to be able to help them learn those expertise, as well as for me to be able to find out what I think I'm good at, but maybe I'm not that good at it.
My favorite thing about Month to Month is this moment of being on set in front of the camera, because usually I'm behind the camera and it's not my typical thing, so it's pretty cool.
My favorite thing about Month to Month is probably just being able to work with everyone, see what everybody can do, and the fact that it was kind of challenging people for those who couldn't edit, to really step up and go for it. Even myself, I didn't really know how to edit very well, but I gave it a go and it really worked out well. So it was really cool seeing what everybody could do and what everybody was actually capable of too.
After graduation, I am planning on going home to Richfield, Ohio, and I'm going to be a fan photographer for the Cleveland Indians. And then hopefully by the fall, find a job in graphic design.
My plans after I graduate are hopefully I can get a job working at one of the local tech companies in the Philadelphia area where I live. If not that, I would love to apply at QVC, which is a home shopping network, and I'd love to be able to be one of the hosts on that show, so fingers crossed.
My plans for the summer are I'm going to be working a couple of jobs. I'll be working the youth conferences here in Steubenville. I'll be taking a couple of summer courses, and I'm also hoping to start recording some music too.
After graduation, I'm getting married and looking for a job here in Steubenville, hopefully in the television industry.